You've waited a lifetime to look better and feel better, and now here's your chance. Fitness Friday on WNDB. Call 239-0033 and have your questions answered on health, fitness, and a better life. Fitness Friday is brought to you by Bodez by Tasso & Company, 1140 West Granada Boulevard in Ormond Beach. And now, here's your host, Tasso Kyriakis.
Welcome to Fitness Friday today, and it's a great day in Daytona Beach. And Fitness Friday brought to you by Bodez by Tasso & Company, co-sponsored by Love Whole Foods. And we have Mitch Booth in. We'll have the full complement of our sponsors because this is the third Friday of the month, and Dr. Fine will be here with one of his patients or two of his patients, whichever number he chooses to bring with him. And we'll talk a little bit about real-life examples of where acupuncture has helped people and gotten people results. So, Mitch, we're going to start out today. I'm going to talk a little bit about my Dancing with the Stars experience and some of the things that I'm learning as I go through this process, and talk a little bit about letting the body adapt, but from the standpoint of when you begin an exercise program. And I'm going to talk about a very special promotion I have. But before we do that, I want to remind people that you have three big events coming up here in the next 60 days. On October the 3rd at Calvary Assembly, you're going to have Dr. Michael Murray. That is a cooperative effort between you and several other of the Whole Food,
all the natural food stores
in the area
in Volusia County.
And give a brief overview of who Dr. Michael Murray is. Well,
Dr. Murray is actually he's now a world-renowned author. He's written over 17 books. He's an ND, a naturopathic doctor. He's on the board of directors at Bastyr University, which is a complementary. It's a university developed to complement allopathic medicine, and he's going to be speaking about how to manage stress. It's really perfect. How to manage stress, anxiety, and get some sleep, all using natural substances as opposed to drugs.
And sleep is, as we age, sleep seems to be a bigger and bigger issue. And the things I've learned about sleep, people hear, well, you only sleep 4 or 5 hours in a night. How do you do that and get along? Well, I read an article a long time ago, this research project out of the University of Florida, that says sleep patterns should be broken up into basically, give or take a few minutes, 90-minute cycles. And they say that Thomas Edison slept in 15-minute cycles when he was in the mode of inventing things. When he would get tired, he would go, he would lay down on a bench in his laboratory, and he would place a tin of marbles or rocks on his chest. And when he fell asleep, deep into sleep, he would relax and turn in his sleep, and that would wake him up, and he'd go back to work. But what the research article in the University of Florida talked about was you want to sleep in 90-minute cycles because that seems to get us through our complete REM cycle. So if you have a late night and you know you got to get up in the morning, and it's 2 o'clock in the morning, you've got to get up at 6. You really want to sleep from 2 to 5. You want to set your alarm, and every one of us has experienced this, that we get up and we wake up and it's like really a lot earlier than what we wanted to wake up, and we feel really alert and ready to go, but we go back to sleep, and what happens when the alarm goes off? We're groggy. We go, how did I feel so good an hour ago? Well, that explains it, these 90-minute cycles. Also, you're going to have October is breast cancer awareness, and we have a team from Bodez that'll be in the walk that's going to go on. Lisa Blythe, a friend of mine, is going to run that program for us, and it's breast cancer awareness that you have on October the 9th. It's a woman-to-woman event that you can have at the Ormond store.
They'll be at the Ormond campus, 7 o'clock, and it's free, obviously.
Right, and then November 7th, we'll talk more about in the future. Terry Lemeron will be around, and that'll be a tent event at Ormond. So a couple great events coming up. We'll be having an open house at Bodez in late October, probably around the 30th of October, just before all the kids go out and get their sugar. So we'll warn about that sugar stuff and try and get people into healthy snacks and that. So what I want to talk about is a couple things today. Number one, and the experience of being in this Dancing with the Stars, albeit very challenging to me, and I want to remind people that in the Dancing with the Stars thing that I'm in, the benefit, is going to occur on November 10th at the Hilton. Tickets are available online. You go to symphonysociety.org.
I blocked out the whole week in my calendar.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah.
I may need the whole week to practice
Yeah.
to get the last thing. So if you go to the Symphony Society website, then you can go there and you can actually vote for your favorite star that you want to vote for by either donating $10 to the Symphony Society, or you can you can buy a ticket to the event, or you can buy a table to the event. So I'm talking to you and pleading for you, because let's just face it, there's not much chance that I'm going to win the crystal ball that they give for being the. Well, listen, there are some pretty good-looking women, and they're dynamic, and they're and they move a lot better than I do, and I'm going like, holy Toledo. I said, I got to go into this thing. I'm starting to go like all the money I put into extra dance lessons and stuff. I said, maybe I should have just donated the money. They'd have gotten more money that way. But I'm excited about it. I'm doing some things, and I met some of the other stars that were in it. We have a young man from Brown and Brown that's in it, Mandy Rossmeyer. I was teasing Randy Rossmeyer. I said to her, hey, are you one of the judges? And then Eva Garcia, who was here the first day that they approached me, and Patrick Hugo is going to be there, and then the guy that was in The Godfather, John Martino, that's been around town for a while, and so there's some other people, Eileen McDermott, who's been here, Christy Mutual, who was a radio technologist, and they're going to have Katie Frito, who was the reigning Miss Daytona Beach, and if you want to go to the website and vote for Tasso, is dbss.org. Again, you vote by either making a $10 donation, buying a table, or buying a seat. Now, the seats are $75. So here's the gig. Here's the real trick. Every Wednesday night, Dave, at Bodez Personalized Fitness, we are doing Zumba dance, because everybody loves Zumba. Everybody goes, oh, we want to do Zumba. Now, I'm not a big group exercise guy. Not because I don't believe it, just because my culture is I really like the personal interaction with people. So now every Wednesday at 5:15, my instructor, the girl teaching me how to dance, is coming to the club, and she's teaching Zumba. And she's a very good Zumba instructor. So she's teaching Zumba. If you're a non-member of the club, it's $10. And if you are a member, it's $5. And all that money is going to go to our fund to help support me winning the trophy for fundraising, of course, because there's two trophies, one for the crystal ball for dancing and one for the fundraiser part of it. And so,
what about one for good looks?
No, I won't win that one either. No? Won't win that one either. So what will happen is...
Yeah, what about best knees?
Best knees? No, I don't think I'm going to win best knees.
Butt.
You got the bee's knees.
Let me know. I just
You'll win best
no.
Karen will love that.
Let me tell you what. There are a lot better butts in this competition than mine. That's for sure.
I don't know.
So, but anyway, when you come to that class, your name is going to go into a drawing that we have, and let's say we make $750 with the Zumba dance. Okay, that means we can buy 10 tickets to the event. So we're going to take that $750, buy 10 tickets, and pull names out of the hat to give people tickets. So it gives you an opportunity to come to a beautiful event and be part of it. Support us. We really want to have a great event. We want to have a good time. And I am having a good time doing this, And I tease Terry, like Terry said to me, he says, are you coming to the game tonight? And I said, no. He goes, why? I said, I have something to do. He says, don't tell me you're going and going to dance practice again. I said, yes, I am. He said, so I'm taking this pretty seriously. I'm working pretty hard at it, and I want to do a great job. I want to make everybody that listens to the radio station proud of me. Hopefully we'll get a WNDB table there with all the Black Crow people and stuff like that. But I'm excited about it, and I hope people will help turn out to make it a great event and help me win the trophy for raising the most money, please. This $10 for the bald fat guy. Give him a shot. So, and then the other thing I wanted to talk about before we get into we're going to talk a little bit about the topic we talked about last week of terrain, and that is, your family and your health are two of your most important things. That's why we run this show. The mission statement of Bodez is about improving the quality of life of people in our community and in our community. And that's our members' lives, that's the people who are not our members, but just making this a better place to live. And then it runs with the theme that we talk about so much with Mitch of love, laugh, and lift. And the thing about it is, if you don't have your health and you don't have your family together, then you really are behind the eight ball for really enjoying those things, enjoying a greater quality of life. So the other aspect of this that I'd like people to know about is that we're going to run a promotion. I've never tried this promotion, but I think it has enough incentive to people. You know, the membership at Bodez, and for those of you that are always price shopping, we're not going to fit in the lowest price category, is $199 enrollment fee and $59.50 a month for your single membership. Well, from now until January 1st, when you enroll for $199 and $59.50 a month, what you're going to receive is a family membership. If that family is you, your wife, or you and your husband, and 4 kids, then it's a 6-family membership. It's a family membership from now till the first of the year. So you're going to receive for a single membership. Now, we, of course, being good business guys, will offer some sort of promotion in December so you can buy the gift of health for your family. But this, I think, is a great opportunity for $59.50 a month to have your family, that being the husband, the wife, the kids. You know, you can't bring your brother-in-law, you can't bring your brother. That's not a family membership at Bodez. So this is a great promotion to allow people the opportunity to see what we're all about. That way, you'll find out who in your family, because, you know, people come in there all the time, they want to start a fitness program with their kids. They go, well, I don't know. You know, my kid says he'll work out and he won't work out. So, I don't know what to do with this. And they don't want to invest the money. So this takes away that excuse. Get you enrolled.
Yeah, that's a great offer.
So this is the first time I've ever tried it. It starts immediately, but we'll be advertising October 1st. The other thing I want to let people aware of, you know, people are always going to me, when are you coming to Port Orange with the club? Well, I'm not coming to Port Orange with a club because I can barely run the club I got, because it takes, I'd run out of time to sleep, and, you know, I wouldn't get to see my girlfriend and stuff like that. So here's
or go dancing.
Or go dancing. I wouldn't have time to go to dance practice. Thanks, Terry. You know, so what we're doing is, starting on Monday, if you go to Your Health Begins Now, I want you to look at the program alive. Your Health Begins Now, yourhealthbeginsnow.com, correct? And if you go to that website, you're going to see articles and everything about a program called Alive, which we have now made into Alive Across America. Now, we had Phil Kaplan on this radio show when we began this program almost 2 years ago. This program has been run at Johns Hopkins University and been run at Miami Memorial. It has had, in a face-to-face type of setting, over 650 people go through it. Now, about 40 weeks ago, we began to do this in a webinar series across America. Since then, we've had about 175 people go through. 800 people have gone through this program. 99% of them have reversed chronic disease and taken themselves off medication with the help of their physicians. It is a program that is a 10-week program. Now, my guarantee to you, you missed the launch last night that gave the overview of it, but my guarantee to you is this. If you'll go to yourhealthbeginsnow.com, enroll for the Monday night seminar. If you don't like what you hear, I'll get your $25 back, because that's the investment that you'll make. It's a 10-week program. It's $25 per week. You'll be given everything, and that synergy that we've been talking about on this show. You know, attention to your cardiovascular fitness, so attention to your muscle, and then your good eating habits is all laid out for you every week in a 60 to 70 minute webinar that's delivered right to your computer at home. The whole program starts on Tuesday morning with a 9-minute routine and builds from there. So go to yourhealthbeginsnow.com and enroll yourself. And again, if you enroll and you don't like it, I will get you your $25 back. That's my guarantee to you. So, Mitch, we started talking a conversation last week, and so much of our modern day medicine is predicated on Louis Pasteur, who identified germs as the cause of disease. And even Louis Pasteur had friends that told him, one of his good friends is Claude Bernard, who was another scientist. And Claude Bernard said to him, he said, you know, I don't agree with you completely, but for some reason, Pasteur's philosophy that germs are the bad thing really became part of what we looked at. Don't make sure you wash your hands because there's germs. And that came largely because of what they observed in Vienna when they washed their hands before they They delivered babies. The death rate dropped for babies. So, and mothers. So then a guy comes along named Beaumont, and he says it's not, he identifies that the germ count, for lack of a better term, before we introduce the term that we used last week, is constantly changing. The body is constantly adapting to itself.
But it's adapting with literally hundreds of different strains of bacteria that all are, they're all in support of each other.
Right, symbiotic.
They're symbiotic.
Right.
And the problem with Pasteur was he would identify one bacteria, let's say pneumonia, and then go after it with a single shot, which is the antibiotic.
Right. And now, so what we begin to talk about there is we began to introduce a term last week. It was called terrain. And this is a word that I heard from Jordan Rubin about 6 months ago. And quite honestly, I'd never heard the term before. And terrain, and the great example he gave was this. How come you can have 6 people go to dinner? They eat the exact same thing, and 2 of them get sick, and the other 4 are just fine.
That's correct. Yeah.
And terrain identifies that it's how your body responds to the germs. It's the strength of your immune system.
And everyone out there knows salmonella. The one that causes most foodborne illness is E. coli and salmonella.
So this week you brought to attention an article that you found that talked about how we've really created, and one of the dangers of what we do with antibiotics and how we get kids so young on antibiotics so soon is one of the dangers is we create super strains of germs that are resistant.
Well, we sterilize the terrain of the child. So the child has an ear infection, and round after round of antibiotics are used to deal with the simple bacteria that causes the ear infection. And what the parents should be aware of, that the terrain has been eradicated, leading to things like susceptibility to autism if that child is really young and then gets vaccinated. And we had that discussion when Leslie was on. That's well documented. But what the CDC has issued is their 2013 threat report. And they've now mentioned 3 common bacteria that the listeners are familiar with. The first one is C. diff. The second one is MRSA. And the third is our old buddy gonorrhea, a standard run-of-the-mill STD. Let's take the C. diff. The CDC pointed out that over 2 million hospitalizations